Alright, so I've used a bunch of different travel SIMs and data options over the years, but ever since I started using eSIMs, I don't see myself going back. It just makes things so much easier, especially when you're landing in a new country and don't want to deal with poor airport Wi-Fi or waiting in line to buy a SIM card. So I've used Saily on multiple trips over the past year, and it's been one of the most reliable and easiest options I've found. The setup takes just a few minutes, and as soon as you land, you're already connected. So in this video, I'll walk you through how Saily works, what kind of plans they offer for Athens, what the pricing looks like, and a few quick pros and cons, just to help you figure out if it's something that makes sense for your next trip. And if you're thinking about trying it out, I've got an exclusive 15% discount for you. Just use the code GVUTechOutCheckout when downloading the Saily app or visiting Saily's website. That said, let's get right into it. Alright, so if you haven't heard of Saily before, it's an app that lets you set up a digital SIM called an eSIM right onto your phone. You don't need to deal with physical SIM cards or find a store right when you land. And just so you know, it's made by the same team behind NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted names in online security. Saily works in over 200 countries, and what's crazy is that when I first started using them, they were only available in around 150 countries or so. So it's definitely improved. On top of that, they've also added some cool new features like ad blocking, web protection, and even a virtual location feature. So it's not just about staying connected anymore, it also helps keep your browsing a little more private and secure. Okay, so if you've never used an eSIM before, don't worry, it's actually really simple. You just download the Saily app from the App Store or Google Play, and once you're in, you choose your destination. So for Athens, just select Greece, and then you'll see a few plan options based on how much data you want and how long you'll be there for. After that, the app walks you through installing the eSIM on your phone. It only takes a couple of minutes, and the setup is super straightforward. Just make sure that you're connected to Wi-Fi when you do it, especially if you're installing it before your trip. That way, the second that you land in Athens, your phone will connect right away. That being said, Saily has a bunch of different data plans for Greece, so whether you're visiting Athens or traveling around, there's something for pretty much everyone. Plans start at around $5 for 1 GB of data for 7 days, which is great if you just need something quick and affordable. Then there are options like 3 GB for around $10, 5 GB for around $14, 10 GB for roughly $22, and even 20 GB for around $38, and those all last for up to 30 days. But if you know you're going to be using a lot of data, like for watching videos or working remotely, they also have unlimited data plans. You can get unlimited data for 10 days for about $36 or go all the way up to 30 days for around $72, with other options in between like 15, 20, or 25 days. And if you're planning to visit more than just Greece, Saily also has regional Europe plans that include Greece, so you don't need to buy a separate eSIM for every country. And like I mentioned earlier, if you do want to try it out, make sure to use my discount code GVUTechOutCheckout when you download the Saily app. It'll get you 15% off your plan, which always helps. Alright, so over the past year, I've used Saily in a bunch of different countries, and I've honestly had a really solid experience with it. Not just in terms of staying connected, but also with the little features that make it smoother and more secure than other eSIMs I've tried. One of the first things I noticed was how long my data actually lasted. Normally when I travel, I burn through it way faster than I expect. But with Saily, the ad blocker made a huge difference. I wasn't wasting data on pop-up ads, background autoplay videos, or other random stuff. Pages loaded faster, everything felt cleaner, and I didn't feel like my data was disappearing for no reason. Then the web protection and virtual location tools are also features I've come to really appreciate, especially when connecting to public Wi-Fi in places like airports, hotels, and cafes. It's just nice knowing that you have that extra layer of privacy. And the virtual location feature helped me actually access some of the apps and content I normally use back at home, which was a really nice bonus. I also love how easy it is to manage everything. The app shows you exactly how much data you've used, and it gives you a heads up when you're getting low, and topping up takes really just a few minutes in the app. That way I never have to panic about running out or scramble to figure out a new plan mid-trip. And in terms of speed and reliability, I've had a strong connection every time I've used it, whether I was using Google Maps to navigate, sharing photos, or video calling family. No random drops or buffering. and definitely no slow, frustrating data like I've experienced with other services. Now, just to mention, Saily is data only, so you'll need to use messaging apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, or Telegram for calls and texts. But honestly, that's how most people communicate anyway these days, so in my opinion, it's really not a big deal. And you'll also want to make sure that your phone is eSIM compatible before buying a plan. Most newer phones are, but it's worth checking just to be safe. Overall, Saily's made staying connected while traveling so much easier. It's affordable, secure, and simple, and it saves you from the stress of dealing with physical SIM cards in every new country. Alright, so if you're headed to Athens, Greece, and you want a simple, affordable way to stay connected, without the usual stress of physical SIM cards or crazy roaming fees, I'd definitely recommend checking out Saily eSIM. It's easy to set up, the plans are flexible whether you need just a little data or a lot, and the added features like ad blocking and web protection make it stand out compared to other eSIM options I've tried in the past. And the fact that you can handle everything right from your phone before you even leave is honestly a huge help. So just as a reminder, if it sounds like something that you want to try, don't forget that you can use my code GVUTech for 15% off. I'll leave the link in the description down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll do my best to help you out. Safe travels!